So I'm never the first therapist someone comes to see. I'm usually the 10th. And at that point, they've already done heaps of clam variations and glute bridge variations and bird dog variations and plank variations and TheraBand exercises. And these aren't terrible exercises. They're real cute. They should be week 1 rehab. And sometimes people come with me a little bit more advanced rehab. They'll do some kettlebell swings or some deadlifts, or they'll have done some sort of rotational exercises. And it's a step in the right direction as well. That should be week 2 or week 3 rehab. And it's usually at this point that people, if they don't find me, they'll either give up or they'll go and start thinking about surgery or injections or something more serious like that. If I take these clients and I test them with just really basic fundamental biomechanical movements just to see how stable their pelvis are, they almost always fail. They show these incredible unstable movements even though they've been doing hundreds of clams and hundreds of planks. Because at the end of the day, these basic physio movements, they don't address the fundamental reasons that your pelvis is unstable and you have OP. And so it's not really a good judgment of whether or not your rehab can fix you because you haven't been using any rehab that will actually fix OP. Your rehab has been focusing primarily on building strength. The problem with OP is that you aren't weak necessarily. Sure, building strength will be an important part, but most of the time, people who have an unstable pelvis that causes OP, they usually have a lack of coordination and communication between areas of their body, particularly in the fascial networks. So their feet doesn't talk to their core, doesn't talk to their glutes. So they can have all the strength in the world in their glutes and all the strength in the world in their core, and they usually do, because they've probably been doing heaps of planks and heaps of clams and heaps of glute bridges. But that's all worthless. That strength may as well be sitting in your top drawer at home if you can't coordinate and get them to activate during complex movements like running, jumping, and changing directions. Movements and situations where you can't just isolate and get one muscle to fire. You need to get everything to fire at once. You're doing rehab that was designed to deal with a hamstring strain or a lower back strain or some other sort of generic injury. You're not dealing with rehab or not using rehab that was designed specifically for OP. If you're watching this video, you've probably had OP for a while, and you need to stop deluding yourself with the idea that these basic movements are going to fix your problem. You need to step up to the idea that, oh, this is going to take a lot of work. You're going to need to do hundreds of different exercises, and you're going to have to really work hard in order to fix your OP. So I'd strongly encourage you to watch the next video where I will talk about the differences between coordination and integration in terms of developing strength versus pure isolation. And then I also strongly encourage you to really start thinking about what it's going to take to get better, because I can promise you it's not going to be as simple as 5 or 6 exercises. And when you're ready to start feeling that reality, well, then you know where I'll be.